Happy Monday, folks. Hey, thank you for tuning in to episode 144 of Soapbox Daily. I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and hey, how are you doing today? How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Was it relaxing? Was it fulfilling? Did you check out the big game? I believe some sporting event went on in the States. I don't know, but halftime show is But you know what? It all depends on what you're into, and if you like football. You know, maybe you don't like football. Maybe it's not your thing. I think it's overrated in my opinion. But hey, how was your weekend? Did you have a good integrity weekend? Did you do the right thing? Were you being the positive change the world needs? Only you will know. Onwards and upwards. Let's get into today. Being Monday. Yes, Monday. What are we talking about today? Today we are talking about, our topic is let go of the glory days. That is our topic for today. Let go of the glory days. And, you know, I think we've all been there, especially the older we get. I think we've all been there when it comes to glory days. I mean, hearing one of my favorite songs, Glory Days, written by Bruce Springsteen, the boss, prompted me to talk about this on today's episode. I think it's highly relevant today, even though the song was written in the 80s. I mean, it's about a man who looks back on his high school glory days. It's a tale of people who hit their peak early in life, bask in the glory, relive those days, reminisce and try to recapture that feeling. Mostly it's about individuals who never moved beyond the glory and hope that the magic and memories will keep them alive and relevant, but find that not to be the case. I mean, we all have glory days, those times in our lives when we were the best at something, won an award, were recognized for excellence or an achievement, and we were cheered on by others. It made us feel energized, alive, and proud. We relive those days through looking at pictures, awards, and diplomas on our wall, and talking with others about how great we were. Not how great we are, more like how great we were. Glory days discussions are remembrances of the past. Different point in time when we were different people. I mean, how many people do you know that spend more time talking about the past than the present or the future? I know me personally, I know a few people are like that. I don't know. I mean, my sister does that all the time. She relives high school awards and she relives events that happened way back when. But now we're talking 40 plus years later. It's like, hey, that was then, this is now. And I have friends that do this, and I see people on Facebook that still do this. People I used to know in high school still do this. People that, I still associate with, and even new people that I meet, whether it's my customers or my clients or whatever the case may be. Okay, we understand that. One thing we know about the past, though, even a second ago, is that we can't go back. There's no rewind or replay button. We can learn from it, but we can't change it. Whatever we did or didn't do is a part of history. That's it. That's all. Stop living in the past. And I think that's part of the reason why some people don't mature. I think it's why some people don't actually grow up, because they're hanging on to those glory days through thick and I mean, they're just, for dear life, they're hanging on to those glory days because that's when they felt relevant and when they felt important. And that's why you have a bunch of guys in their 40s and 50s that still act like teenagers and idiots. Loud music, loud vehicles, back stupid, doing idiotic things, or even girls for that matter, because they don't want to let go of those glory days because that's when they felt important. But you know what, folks? It's great. I've had my glory days. I sit back and I think about this. I think about my previous careers and people that I've met and celebrities and famous people and this and that, and times that I've shown the world I'm amazing and people cheered me on and people looked at me with, respect. But you know what? You don't have to lose sight of that or lose that inside of you. You should be able to look back at those glory days with a smile on your face and go, hey, check, there you go. That's something I've done. It's something I can feel good about, but I have to remember that that's then, this is now. Doesn't mean you can't make new glory days. Just because you were a shining star back then doesn't mean you can't have a little bit of a shimmer now. You can. Doesn't matter where you are in life. Don't live back in that day. Make a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of shine now. You can still have glorious moments. And you can start with having integrity. You can start with being the best version of you can be. Grow up, forget about the past, live in the now. Stop trying to be that person you were back then. Be the amazing person that you are now, but be good to other people, be good to yourself, and do the right thing. That's the best way that you can do this. And you can make yourself a shining moment again. You can have another glory day that in another 20, 30 years, you can look back on again and go, hey, I had this time when I was really young. I had this time in my midlife. And now I have this time, something else I could reflect back on when I'm 80 or 90 years old. I could reflect back to both those occasions and go, hey, this is awesome. Glory days are great. I agree, but you can't go back, make new events. Don't think you can, you did it once, you could do it again. You're not the same person you were back then. Make something new. That's all I'm saying. Make something new. Stop living back then. Live in today. Live for tomorrow. I want to talk about this a little because as I scroll through Facebook and I scroll through social media and I see people from my past that come up again, and I start looking at them and I go, wow, you haven't grown up. You're still that 17-year-old I used to know back then. Get to the here and now. Get to the here and now. Great, you were awesome back then. And life might appear to be sucking right now, but you can make something different. You can make a change. Be that change. Make the hard decisions. Change how you think, and you'll change who you are, and you'll change the events in your life and make things better. So that's about it for today. Hey, I want to thank you very much for tuning in on this Monday. I know it's a little later than normal, but I've had a busy, crazy day, and the rest of the day is going to be crazy busy as well. And, to all those people out there that have a significant other, tomorrow is supposed to be the romantic day of the year, which is Valentine's Day. So you might want to go out to the store and get a little something ahead of the game, right ahead of tomorrow, because it is St. Valentine's Day tomorrow. So just a little reminder to you out there, might want to do a little something beforehand. Just saying on that. And if you're kicking around today, please check out our central hub website of themadmorgan.com, or also over on Twitter at madsoapbox. Check us out. But you can, if you essentially put everything at themadmorgan.com, you'll find everything else from that point. I'm your host, Mad Morgan, and again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow for our next episode.